up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego in the back with some more boxing. Let's get it. Let's get it. I said get it. Oh yeah. Let me see what y'all talking about. Boots is the 2X undisputed world champion. I bleed boxing. How you bleed boxing and you don't even make sense? The man said Boots is a 2X undisputed world champion. So you're so dumb, you meant to put a joke, and then instead of saying Bud, you put Boots twice, but you bleed boxing. Clown. Hey, y'all, listen. Y'all need Jesus. Yeah, nah, don't. It ain't no typo, bro. Your name is I Bleed Boxing. You were trying to be funny, and you couldn't even get the fighter's name right. No, don't try to clean it up. Hey, block him. Get him out of here, bro. Hold on. Where he at? I'm blocking you, just because you wasted people's time with a whack joke. Yeah, you out of here. Wait till I get a hold of you. Hold on. That was corny.
Oh yeah, am I right?
Hey, shooters, get rid of this dude. What's up, Kenya? Let me get this joker off the screen. Oh, you lucky we can't block you because you on Twitter. Man, get him out of here, bro. Bro, your joke is corny. Your name is I Bleed Boxing, and you said the wrong stuff, so you don't bleed nothing. Bro, wait till I find you on X. I'm gonna X you out. You weak. You couldn't even say your joke right. You weak. I bleed boxing. You don't bleed. Hold on. I'm about to find you on Twitter. I'm about to find you on Twitter and block you so you can never see when I'm even live. I don't ever want you on my live streams again. It's over. Wait till I find you on X, cuz. That homie. I bleed boxing, huh? You gonna bleed a height. Hold on. I bleed boxing. Yeah, okay. You bleed boxing. You bleed block. Look. You bleed blocking. You out of here. Gotta go. The man said I have 100 counts. You a cornball then. Listen, if you a grown man, he said I got 100 counts. I got 100 counts, 100 clips. New York. Bro, that just proves you square and you don't have a life. The man said I got 100 accounts, I'll be back. Like he Arnold. Bro, if you don't it just all these dudes do is prove my greatness. Y'all will all bow down. Look, he didn't want to get it. I bleed boxing is blocked. Gotta go. If you don't know by now, you will never know. We getting rid of all of them in 2024. I'm sorry y'all had to witness that. Oh, he came back that fast. Hold on. I'm blocking this. Look, you ninjas is weird. I'm blocking this account too. Hold on. Yeah, keep them coming. You ninjas is weird. You getting blocked too. Hey, my bad, y'all. We gonna start in a second. They all get blocked. I found you. You'll never find, bro. You gonna go through all your 100 accounts. I got 100 accounts, 100 clips. Block. Bro, I'm blocking all your accounts. Dead homies. Oh my gosh. Oh, he mad. He said I got 100 accounts. What'd he say? You a clown. Okay, so chat. This man got blocked for putting something incorrect. He then says, I got 100 counts. I'll be back. Like he the new Arnold. Shout out to Mr. Moore. The man said, I'll be back. Yeah, what are you doing? I'll be back. I'm coming back here. But then he said, I'm a clown, but you're getting blocked for being stupid. And then you're coming back on miscellaneous account. I get paid to do this. Y'all pay me to talk boxing. You, yes, all of you. So who's the clown now? You tell me who's the clown when they doing this for free. Listen, I don't touch boxing if it's for free. There ain't nothing for free. I don't make no videos for free. I don't do nothing for free. So who's the clown? Shout out to Kenya B. P. Ollie, what's up? Salute. I'm sorry y'all had to witness that. They was feeling froggish. Kenya B said he definitely don't have a woman. If he got time to, that's what I'm saying. These dudes need to go outside, go for a walk, get some fresh air. All this ish sounds similar. What you mean, Ricky? Shout out to Ricky. What sounds similar? Bro, the Bud Buddies, y'all just gonna be mad because I'm coming. Death Row East, believe in that. Nate's Boxing Nation, what's up with you? The Bud Buddies, you are getting crucified. I'm gonna nail you to the cross. What you saying makes no sense, and we see it. We see what you saying makes no sense. You hear me? The stuff you were saying makes no sense. Ricky Williams says, I was wrong about Bud's skills, but I was right about the way he moves. I mean, he beat Errol Spence. Listen, I ain't even gonna hold you. I said it then and I said it. Much love to Errol Spence. I followed his career. I'm gonna continue following his career. I'm gonna continue supporting him. The way Errol looked, I don't think he would have beaten other people he's already beaten. Now, the Bud Buddies, they're going to get all mad. You hate on Bud, whatever. I'm telling you my honest opinion. The way Errol looked, guys he's already beaten, I don't think he would have beaten them on that given night. Like Kell Brook in his prime. Like, you know, when he fought Kell Brook. Sean Porter, when he fought Sean Porter. That version of Sean Porter, that version of Danny Garcia, Ugas, they might have beat Errol. He didn't look like something off. And okay, some of it was Crawford, you know what I mean? Like coming out southpaw, but I it's hard for me to really truly believe that all of it was Crawford. So if that makes me a hater, then whatever. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Hey, make sure y'all get the likes up. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. And if you don't want that, then scram, get off the channel, scram. Da, 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 da. Get out. Scram. I really don't care. The funny thing is, the mistake y'all made, the haters, y'all think I need you. I don't need you. Leave. Boxing will be better without you. B-Dog said, this version of Spence may not have won any titles. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I mean, let's be real. The cat, like, I don't know. Like, for example, this is gonna be controversial, but you know, I gotta speak my truth. I watch certain fights and then I see like how the person performs, and I don't know what it is. I don't know, you know, what went on in camp and all that type of stuff, but I feel like there's a difference when somebody like Canelo versus Floyd Mayweather. Right? It's not that Canelo was terrible at age 23. If Canelo did not fight Floyd Mayweather on that fateful night, he probably would still be undefeated. It's Floyd made him look terrible. I don't think Canelo at age 23 was drained. I don't think that version of Canelo was a bad fighter or anything. I think you just met somebody. And it's hard to really like quantify, but there's certain people where it's like I'm trying to give you guys like, okay, even Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis. I don't know what happened to Regis Prograis, but the version that we've seen of Regis Prograis in the Devin fight, in the Zorilla fight, he looked terrible. Like, I don't even think he would have been a champion. I don't think he would have been a champion, though. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if his whole career he looked like Zorilla Prograis and in the Devin fight. So I get it. Part of it is who you're in the ring with. But like, let's say like David Benavidez and Andrade. I don't think that Andrade looked different. He couldn't hurt Benavidez, and Benavidez stayed on top of him. So for me, and again, it's hard because I guess it's subjective, if you will. But when I'm watching David Benavidez, I seen Andrade that fights like Andrade. It looked like the regular Andrade. He looked like he was in dope shape. And I truly believe had Andrade not fought Benavidez and he had fought like, you know, Kieran Davis or, you know, just somebody else, he had a good chance of winning that night. But he wasn't beating Benavidez on that night. Benavidez got a chin. You see what I'm saying? So a little bit rough to explain, but I know what I'm saying. Like, for example, like even like Jaime Munguia, he just fought John Ryder. Bro, John Ryder looked terrible. He looked terrible. Absolutely terrible. And, you know, people are like, oh, he stopped John Ryder. Munguia stopped him and Canelo couldn't stop him and all this type of stuff. Canelo might have did that to John Ryder. You see what I'm saying? Because John Ryder, when he fought Canelo, he looked like he had more pep in his step. He looked a bit more put together. When he fought Munguia, who's not as skilled as Canelo, he just looked terrible. So people in boxing, they don't put stuff together. Like even the Devin fight. Devin fought Regis Prograis, splendid performance. I'm not mad at Devin. I'm not mad at the Haneys. They did what they said they had to do. But Regis was coming off a performance where he looked bad, and it was like a continuation. And then he fought a better fighter than Zorilla, so he just looked terrible, right? But he had he didn't really have that momentum, you know. Same thing with John Ryder. Munguia beat him more impressively than Canelo, but if you know boxing, probably some of that. Sometimes your last boxing is a whatever you done for me lately sport, and you're only as good as your last performance. So like if a guy, let's say a guy fights Andrade next and he doesn't look that good, he just came off of Benavidez stopping him and making him quit. We may have very well seen the best of Andrade at that point, you know, and I'm not condemning him. I'm not putting that on him, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if Andrade looked more beatable than he did before fighting Benavidez. So a lot of people don't want to put this stuff in perspective. And then if you do, people say you're hating. So it is what it is. I'm giving you my honest take. And if you don't like it, scram, like I said. I need y'all to get the lights up. I don't know what's going on. Machiavelli, what's up? Can y'all get the lights up? That's all y'all got to do. That's why Clenbuterol been avoiding him. Who? Andrade? Yep. See, that's what I'm saying. Like boxing is so intricate. You got to put everything together. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing. Even let's say Crawford, Errol Spence. The people who were like rocking with Crawford and they all had negative stuff to say about Errol Spence, and they said Errol Spence spit out his mouthpiece in the Ugas fight. So he was off. So y'all made a big deal about Errol getting his mouthpiece knocked out, and y'all said that Errol was hurt by Ugas. Then he takes a year off. Crawford gets a tune-up fight, and then you don't think some of that stuff plays into going into Spence Crawford in the world of boxing. So when we're talking about a fight, like you have to put, like boxing is just, you have to put every bit of knowledge and data points that you know. And actually, I can't say that you know. because I don't know what you know. You got to you got to research. Like if you're a boxer and you don't know your opponent and he from Russia, you better watch some effing tape. He might be a Russian killer. Just because you don't know him don't mean nothing. You see what I'm saying? So that's where a lot of people they get this wrong. I know I'm the best in the business. It's really not even close. There's a lot of people that they're boxing commentators and they do the analysis. Everything is wrong. Their news breaks are wrong. Their fight predictions are wrong. Their assessments are wrong. Wrong. And that's the major issue that boxing is dealing with. Some of you guys are so thirsty for boxing content and boxing news. You don't even care. You don't care. A month in boxing today. And when I started in this, the game wasn't like this because there was probably less people doing it. Now there's people on YouTube right now. They did 10 predictions. They got all 10 wrong or 9 wrong, way wrong. Not even like, everyone gets some fight predictions wrong here and there. No biggie. But I'm talking about people could do 10 fight predictions, get 9 of them wrong, 10 of them wrong, and then you still check what they had to say. I'm from a different cloth. If you have no credibility to me, then I can't even accept anything you have to say. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I blame the boxing fan, because it's up to you guys to help clean up these streets. If you know X, Y, and Z, a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, a TikToker, a content creator, somebody who does IG lives, and you know them for having no credibility, you know them for being wrong with every assessment, and you still choose to listen to it, that's on you. But then don't cry when boxing look crazy, because you're helping to support it. You know what I mean? He said if it wasn't for trill platforms like you, we would be ish out of luck for information. I know. I see it all the time. Every day, people are like, man, I don't believe it until Boxing Egos say it. Because I don't just get on here and make videos for my health. I'm doing this for the game. I'm trying to uplift the game. You look at people's content now, and it don't even sound like boxing fans are making it. It don't even sound like you like the sport of boxing. It's all negative. Like, okay, I ain't never ducked or dodged no kind of concept or content on my channel. I've always stood for something. I gave minority fighters a voice when they didn't have a voice. I'm that dude, right? So I don't duck the work. The work is the work. I've worked all my life, so I ain't afraid of that. But again, there's a lot of oversaturation in the game right now, and you guys are allowing it. You guys are allowing like just incessant hate and like inconsistency. Like for me, I'm just being real with you. If I watched a YouTuber, right, and they said, here's my standard as a man, I don't know how it feels to be a woman because I'm not a woman. I can only tell you the perspective of a man and the standard that I hold men to. And I think that standard for men should be held so high that at the end of the day, it's like, it's binary. Like it's either you get a check in the column or you don't. That's how I look at it as being a man. You see what I'm saying? Like either you get the check mark or you don't. It's pass or fail. There is no gray area. But for me, my taste, if I'm listening to a boxing content creator, right, and all the information is wrong. Like you had people saying Gervonta Davis fighting Abner Mares. That was years ago. Where did Abner Mares fight? Where is it? You know what I'm saying? I see it all the time. Tank fighting Abner Mares. Where's the fight? Can anybody let me know when that fight's happening? Because that's what y'all told me. People said, oh, swore up and down Tank was fighting Isaac Cruz. He's fighting Rolly March 30th. Where did Isaac Cruz 2 fight? Y'all said it was happening. So for me, as a if I'm gonna watch an avid watcher or something, I can't just listen to people, articulate certain things, always be wrong, say that this is my standard, and then they don't uphold the standard. I can't do that. And you're seeing it a lot, and you're seeing it a lot more, and it's perverting the game of boxing. You're seeing it with this Bud Crawford and Boot situation as well. Make sure y'all get the likes up. How you got how do you have people? He said if the actual fighter isn't posting it, I ain't believing it. Facts. But some people, and see, this is what I'm saying. Y'all allow people to water down the game. We'll say it like that. You got people, someone left me a comment and they said this is ridiculous. Boxing is dying. This is why UFC is taking over, because this is too confusing. I don't know who Canelo's fighting. I don't know who Gervonta Davis is fighting. They said something like that in the comments, right? The reason you don't know why Canelo, you don't know who he's fighting, and you don't know why the Gervonta Davis who he's fighting, is because they're not ready to announce. So anything else, that's your fault. Anything else that falls on you. When they're ready to announce their fight, they will do it. The problem is you got people who are speculating. It's like loserville in boxing. Some of these boxing fans are such losers. They refuse to go take a walk, exercise, get some fresh air. And then they sit up here playing Matlock, trying to uncover everybody's next move in like, oh, Gervonta's fighting Cruz, and then Cruz announces Rolly. So then they jump and say, oh, but now Gervonta Davis, he's fighting Conor Benn because they arguing. And then they start saying he fighting Conor Benn. And then Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn do an interview and say the fight's not happening, won't Wompty. And then now they're trying to get, oh, it's Frank Martin. That's why you're confused, because you are an idiot or you're listening to idiots. That is 100% what's happening in my sport of boxing. Instead of just waiting, like my man said, if the actual fighter isn't posting it, I ain't believing it. You idiots choose to just run around and play all this guesswork. That's your fault. Oh, Tank, bro, in the last month, people didn't say Tank is fighting Conor Benn, Devin Haney, Abner Mares, who else? Pitbull, Rolly, Frank Martin. Just wait until the month say who he fighting. It's not even that serious, bro. Shout out to King Leoid. Exactly. Everybody want to be first to drop and be dead wrong. And that same thing with Canelo. And these are the faces of boxing. This is why you guys are confused. Everybody trying to guess who. Oh, Canelo's fighting Jamal Charlo. Oh, Charlo did an Instagram live, so now the fight is not happening. He's fighting Munguia. And then Canelo's like, I'm not fighting a Mexican fighter. Okay, it's not Munguia. It got to be David Benavidez. Just shut the up and wait. Simple. It's that simple. And people wonder why they're currently confused in the world of boxing. You're confused because you choose to be confused. I'm not confused. I didn't think Tank was fighting no Conor Benn. Bro, I'll give you $10,000 right now if you clip up a video with my voice, my actual voice, saying that Tank is fighting Conor Benn next. And I think the fight is going to happen. So you guys, like I said, I blame the fans because it all starts with the fans. If you guys support it, then why would it not persist? Toddy says Bud fanboys wanted that Canelo fight Super Saiyan bad. Bro, I'm glad the fight. Listen, yeah, y'all said I'm hating. I'm glad the fight ain't happening. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad the fight not happen. I hope it never happened. I don't want to see that. Yeah, I'm glad the fight not happening. I never wanted to see Bud and Canelo. I will watch it just if it like I don't have no control if it happens or not. That's up to Canelo, but in the networks and stuff. But I'm glad it's not happening. That's a stupid fight. Why do I need to see that? Bro, I don't like fights like that. This is why I don't like fights like that. I don't like fights where there's a clear-cut storyline it where the person, should they lose, they got a built-in excuse that they can just throw out there as to why they lost. So we had to, as fans, we got to waste our time and suffer through it, and we got to like empathize with them when they come up short. I don't like fights like that. Like, for example, if the fights that I want happen, there's no built-in excuse for the loser. That's what I'm about. That's real boxing. Right? If Bud fought Boots Ennis, there's no excuse. If Boots got smoked, if he got smoked out his boots, what's the excuse? You were you were looking like a wrecking ball. You look frame-wise, you look bigger than Crawford. You know, you look like you almost low-key like a middleweight type of frame, like you could move up in the future, right? Bud's a terrific fighter. There's no excuse. You both got skills. Bud, got certain, like he got veteran experience. Boots is younger. Canelo Benavidez. If Canelo Benavidez happens, what can Canelo say? Oh, you said Benavidez ain't fought nobody. So if Benavidez cooks you, then you just got to take that. You got to take that on the chin. So I like fights like that where it's a good fight. Even if it's like 50-50, 60-40, you can probably make a case. Like Devin and Ryan, I feel like is a good fight like that. Devin should be the favorite, but you could make an argument that Ryan has the equalizer. So if Ryan is able to catch him in 12 rounds, could be interesting. So I'm not anti any fights like that. Like where, like basically you could make an argument that like the styles should play well with each other, stuff like that. But if Bud fights Canelo, that's a built-in excuse. He gonna probably retire. If Canelo knocked out Bud, he would probably retire. He made whatever money he made from that fight. And then he'd be like, oh, I dared to be great. I tried to get undisputed again and all that. Like, the other thing I don't like what that represents. I don't like, why should Bud Crawford get to bypass actual people in the division who want the same thing as you? And you get it because of what? Because you're Crawford? You see what I'm saying? Like, why? What? Bud is entitled. Bud acts entitled, and his fans do too. His fans act entitled. They truly do. Bud's fans act entitled, right? They think Canelo owes Bud. Why did Canelo owe Bud? Somebody please explain. Listen, all you bums in the comment section, let's do a hot seat. Explain how Canelo owes Bud Crawford that look. Canelo got a better resume. He's clearly an A side over Bud. How does he owe Bud that look? Bud has never fought higher than like that division. He never fought 160 or higher. Well, why does Canelo owe Bud anything? Like I said, Canelo got more fights. So Canelo, because he beat Errol Spence, who looked wounded or whatever, but he beat him at welterweight, then Canelo got to accept your challenge because you called him out. Man, stop. Y'all sound stupid. He said I'm up now. That's not a good enough. He said I'm up now. That's definitely not a good enough excuse. Where do y'all get off saying Canelo owes Crawford? How? Like why? Why does he owe Crawford anything? Now, if Canelo mindset was different and he said I'm fighting Bud, then I would just accept it. But for the people who are pushing this narrative that Canelo is afraid of the man 21 pounds under him, I just don't agree with that. I don't see that. Like Canelo has done his fair share of uck-ish, you know what I'm saying? Like questionable behavior. Why would he be afraid of fighting a guy that's never fought in that weight class, that he's stronger than, that he has a better chin than, and it's like the guy would have to move up 21 pounds? Like literally make that make sense. I really think people believe this is a video game. All right, we got a hot seat. Thank you. How does Bud owe Boots a fight? Because Boots was his mandatory, and now Boots has his belt. Block him. That was super easy. Shout out to Jeff Mack. You got spray him. Get him out of here. That was easy. The man tried to back talk Boxing Ego. He says, how does Bud owe Boots a fight? Because Boots was his mandatory, and Boots actually has the thing that would make Crawford at least a 3-time undisputed person, and it's a quality fight. That's easy. He act like he was gonna stump me with that. Oh, how does Bud owe Boots? The man, okay. Tell me what the difference is. Bud Crawford, this is him. This is what he said. Bud Crawford says, I ain't never paid for nobody for step aside money. That's his own words. Bud said, I always took care of my mandatories. I ain't never paid no one step aside money. Boots was your mandatory, and then you were going to fight Errol Spence. Mauricio Suleiman said, from his knowledge, that fight is not happening next. I guess we'll wait for Errol Spence, but it don't look too good for that fight. That was the only reason why Bud couldn't move on to other options, because of a contractual obligation to Errol Spence. So if he fights Errol Spence next, cool. But from the information that's being reported, doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like that at all. Like that fight is going to happen next. If he fights Errol Spence in a rematch, fine. That makes sense if there's a contract that is preventing him from fighting other people. But that's what the Bud Buddies said. They said, oh, Boots has to fight Errol Spence. So if things have changed and the Errol Spence fight is not next, then what do? You got to look at your other options. Boots is not his mandatory. They just took the IBF belt from him. And then now Boots is a champion. Okay. I don't know if the Bud Buddies want to look bad tonight, because you're doing a bang up job. This man, Marv the Gamer, he tried to play games with the Ultimate Gamer. He says Bud said he was moving up to 154, and he said he's done at 147. He didn't say that, but whatever. He never said he's done at 47, and I'll prove it. So how is he ducking Boots when he moving up now? If he stay at 154, I could say it's a duck. Okay, that made no sense for the record. The man says if he moves, he says he's moving up to 54. See, this is what's wrong with boxing. And I'm going to break y'all down and block you one by one. Trust that. I'm going to break you down, and then I'm going to block you in the hot seat. Bud said he was moving up to 154. He never confirmed, like, I'm absolutely moving up to 54. Then this man lied and said he's done at 47. Okay, Poindexter. If that was true, then tell me how come the arrow, now you're fixing your typo because you knew that made no sense. Bro, these dudes are so anxious to get a response from Boxing Ego. They fumbling around and stammering and stuttering and can't even type their sentences right. Anywho, aside from your typo, this is where I catch a body. This is where I catch a body, y'all. Remember last year when everyone was still under the impression that Spence Crawford Part 2 happens, and then people like myself said Errol Spence, I don't know if he can make 147 anymore. Right? Errol looks weight drained at 147. He stayed there too long. And then Bud's team said, we offered Errol the fight at 47. Knowing Errol Spence, he said it post-fight. Errol Spence, right after he lost, he says, hopefully I could get the rematch at 154. He literally said it on mic'd up in front of a microphone and a camera. Errol Spence says, I want the rematch. Hopefully I could get it at 54. So if he said what you said, Marv the Gamer, that he's absolutely moving up to 54 and done with 47, when it looked like he was still fighting Errol Spence, why did they offer him the fight at 147 in the rematch? These dudes don't even think about, either they don't have enough knowledge to go against the king, or they don't think about what they're saying, or whatever is happening, but that don't make sense. Your claim, they said I just 30'd the man. Told you. He just claimed that Bud said he said conclusively he's done with 47 and moving to 54. But then when Errol Spence said he would rather do the rematch at 54, Bud's team, I have the tweets for the record, Bud's team said we offered him the fight at 47 when they were still negotiating before the cataract surgery. But you're claiming that he said he was absolutely moving up to 54. Then why didn't he negotiate the Errol Spence rematch at 54? Now block him for lying. Marv the Gamer. Next. I told you this easy work. See, that's what I'm saying. All this stuff that y'all do to try to like make Bud look better in this light, you're making it look worse. You're making the situation look worse because I remember what you said. I remember what you told me. The most dangerous thing is a camera and a microphone. If teams and fighters didn't say all this stuff, then they wouldn't have, these opinions wouldn't exist. Do you really believe they offered him the rematch at 147 when the loser could choose what weight every time? Bud team say something, y'all go crying about it. Why would the loser have jurisdiction on the weight? Jackson, hey, block him. Wait, when they can't defeat you, this is what they do. They just start making up lies. He said every time. You're all over the place. Do you really believe they offered him a rematch at 47? His team said they offered him the rematch at 47. I have the tweets. So why would I not believe it? Then you switch up and say, oh, every time Bud's team say something, you go crying about it. So let me get this straight. You're a multi-millionaire boxer. You have an entourage and a certain team around you, but then your confidence, I'm not supposed to believe what they're saying? What? So why is this part of your entourage if they're speaking on your behalf? You like Terence Crawford has literally let Bernie have his whole phone on his Instagram, went live, and Bud wasn't even on camera. I remember all these moments. That's why you're not going to do this to me. I'm going to say it again. Bud let his homie Bernie take over his Instagram live more than once, where he literally gave his phone and login credential or logged in, started an Instagram live stream, and let Bernie just talk. And he let Bernie say everything like, oh, y'all hating on Bud. He gave up his whole, like, that's crazy. That's like me not being home and then I give someone my access tokens and stuff and they go live on my behalf on my channel. Insane. But then now the same people who have always spoken for Bud that are from Omaha and on his team, y'all saying I shouldn't trust what they said. But if they say cool stuff like Bud's the GOAT and, you know, Bud's unbeatable, then I got to believe that. But then when they say we offered Errol Spence to fight at 47, you're telling me don't believe his inner circle. Y'all sound bad. It's getting bad, bro. It's getting truly bad for y'all. And this is what happens when you resist the truth. All y'all to do is just admit that Boxing Ego is the king of boxing talk and you can't outsmart him and then you be good. But y'all refuse to do that, some of you. So you get flamed up with the truth. I'll take it. The man said the loser got to pick the weight class. Where did you get that from? Why would the loser get to pick the weight class? Like, just think of the sensibility of that. Why would, okay, so Errol Spence lost and he could be like, man, we fighting at 180. What? Like, Errol's a big dude. Errol's naturally bigger than Bud because he didn't start off at lightweight and he was fighting like 150s in the amateurs. So Errol lost. Did Jackson dude just lied and made something up and he said that the loser gets to pick the weight class. So Errol Spence could be like, yo, we fighting at 175 in the rematch. So if Errol Spence, the first fight didn't work his way and he's naturally bigger, why doesn't he just do the rematch at 175? Like his walk around weight. Why would that be a thing? The loser gets to pick the definitive weight class for the rematch. Wow. Again, this is what happens. They just make stuff up. And it's so funny because you see whose argument looks worse and whose argument is pristine and immaculate. All this kicking and screaming just so the Boots name doesn't get mentioned with Crawford. Sad stuff, people. And this is from alleged boxing fans. Now, the other thing is this. This is how you know in boxing. I will prove it. In boxing, this is how you can tell when somebody is a certified threat to a fighter and the fighter's fan base. If you guys want me to prove it, just type prove it in the comment section. That's all y'all gotta do. Just type prove it and I'll prove it right on the spot. I will prove an age-old trick from old media and fan bases to protect their fighter. All y'all gotta do is type the word prove it and get me hyped up and I'll prove it. They want me to prove it. Okay, I'll prove it. I'll beat any man in this room in less than 60 seconds. Hey, Linda, don't go too far, honey. Be over in 60 seconds. Ego Lee will prove it. This is how you know when the fighter is a certified threat. There is more kicking and screaming when a fighter's name is linked to a known threat and that kicking and screaming is completely absent when there's a person that fighter fights that you know has no chance. Now, that might be confusing. Let me explain. For example, Jaron Boots Ennis is a threat at the welterweight division. We know this. Just based on how he's been looking, his style, he's a threat. You hear a lot of kicking and screaming from the Bud Buddies as to why that's a horrible fight, why Boots doesn't deserve the fight, Boots needs to fight. They start playing matchmaker. But then when Crawford fought David Avocado, there was no kicking and screaming. There was no protest from the same people about who the hell is David Avocado? What has David Avocado done to earn the fight? When is David Avocado going to sell tickets? How can David Avocado beat this guy? The same people were okay with that fight. They advocated for that fight. They told people to buy the BLT Prime pay-per-view for that weak ass fight. So in essence, when he was fighting David Amnesia, they were politicking for it. They were like, yeah, this is a good fight. I'm ordering the pay-per-view. Are y'all ordering the pay-per-view? They were doing all that type of stuff. But those same people can't find the value in Crawford versus Boots Ennis. Like, just think about how these people are ruining boxing. You can find the value in Crawford versus David Avocado to the point where you're advocating for it, supporting it, and saying you were going to buy the pay-per-view on some unknown BBL app. You were willing to support. Like, I literally seen a boxing reporter. He said, I'm not comfortable giving BBL Prime my credit card information, so I can't support this Crawford fight. You don't even know who the company was, and they telling you, give your credit card information to this company. If Bud and Boots were to fight, it would probably be on Amazon Prime, which is, come on, that's $1 trillion company. So that proves to me what it really is. Boots is a monster. Boots is a threat. I'm not saying he absolutely beats Crawford. I'm saying I want to see it. And that's all you need to know. The kicking and screaming only happens when it's a threat. Like when I say I want to see Canelo Benavidez, the Canelo fans, they look in the mirror and scream with their dyed red hair. They painted some freckles on. They be like, no, who's Benavidez? Benavidez will get destroyed and all this stuff. But they're not putting up this type of fight, and they're not putting up the same arguments. Benavidez don't deserve it. When Canelo fighting average children, all my children or whatever he was fighting, they gladly accepted the fight, and they talked about the ring walk. Oh, that was a great ring walk. Talk about the ring walk where Canelo walk out to this death sentence known as David Benavidez. Tell me about that ring walk. That's how I know that it's pandemonium for him. They're telling you all the reasons Boots doesn't deserve it and he ain't right and blah, blah, blah. But they never did this for Mean Machine. They never did that. And the sad part about it is boxing has gotten soft, real soft, because my favorite fighters growing up, Muhammad Ali. And actually, Muhammad Ali's not really my generation because, you know, the age, you know, in which he was fighting. But I just always like Muhammad Ali. But the people who, like, I grew up watching, Pernell Whitaker, Prince Nassim Hamed, Roy Jones is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Mike Tyson, right? You couldn't tell me nothing about Roy Jones Jr. I don't care who he was fighting. Boxing has gotten soft. I didn't care who you ain't never heard me in Roy in his prime. You ain't never heard me say, oh, I don't want to see the fight. Because I knew Roy, what he was capable of and what he would do. This new generation gone soft. Montreal folks, bruh, what Ninja's gonna say if Bud smoke boots? Block him. Bum. More bum behavior. If Bud smokes boots, it'll be like the other people that he smoked. And people will say, congratulations. What, like, just listen to the people that ruined boxing for all of us. Why is it about the outcome? If Bud destroyed Boots, then he destroys him. What, I don't even understand how this is a question. People are like, oh, what are you gonna say if Bud destroys and knocks out Boots? I would say congratulations. I'm impressed. It doesn't even make sense. I never even understood that question from boxing fans. What are you gonna say when Bud does X, Y, and Z to Boots or whoever? Congrats. Like, what do you want me to say? And to prove that these is just coming from the Bud buddies and biased people is why is that the only outcome? His question to me was, what am I gonna? It's a great fight, but he's saying, what am I gonna say only if one guy wins? Why didn't he say, what are you gonna say if Boots wins? You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, the man just you can tell by how people phrase stuff and frame it what their real intent is. In a great fight, why would you only consider one option? Why would you say, what am I going to say if Bud destroys Boots? What if Boots won the fight? Well, you know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? It's a fight, 2 men, 2 hands, 2 feet. Why are you only asking me a question about if one guy wins? I don't even understand that. That's why I never understood what people, what are you going to say when Canelo destroys David Benavidez? I just want to see the fight. If that's what happens, God bless him. You see what I'm saying? That's why I never understood. But that's the witness protection program. That's what they do. What are you going to say when this happens? That's what you praying happens. Such a silly question. What are you going to say when only one outcome that I want to happen is the outcome? That's not the only thing that can happen. Benavidez has a shot versus Canelo. Boots has a shot versus Bud. Bro, Bud got dropped by Mean Machine. It's inconceivable that Boots could have success. Like, come on, bro. Or here's the other thing the Bud buddies do. Oh, but you said this about Errol. Errol's his own fighter. Errol himself said on Twitter recently, I haven't always conducted myself like the most disciplined fighter. Boots, every single time I look on his social media, it's the same thing. Church, the word was great today. I was in church. Mr. Catch a Body, 10 miles I ran today. 8 miles I ran today. We're talking about 2 different fighters, 2 different MOs. I don't see Boots playing around. He still looks very hungry. Listen, go follow Boots. Jerron Ennis it's like Groundhog Day. Every tweet is about how he ran 7 mile, 24 rounds in the bag, and I did 10 rounds of sparring. He looked like he in the zone. He didn't go through a car accident. We're talking about different careers. Oh, but Errol Spence, you guys said Errol Spence could be. Okay, that's one person. People thought Errol could win. He didn't. Next. Now Boots is a set. Like, I don't understand how people don't understand. Boxing is a sport. It's not like just you beat one guy and it's just like it's not a video game. You know what I mean? Like Call of Duty, you just beat it and the game's over. You never have to play it again. You have to continue. Any sport, you have to continue proving yourself. Kobe Bryant got 1 ring. So what? It's just over? Everything's over? Oh, I got 1 ring. I'm Kobe Bryant. Let me retire, hang up my jersey. No, he kept doing it. Got a 2nd ring, 3rd ring, 4th. Like, what are we talking about? Only in boxing do you see these stupid fan bases with this stupid thinking. Like, Bud beat Errol, so get off his back forever. It's a competition. It's a sport. As long as you're in it, you're gonna have to keep proving yourself. Like, Canelo got more. Like, listen, don't get me started, bro. Cause listen, I give Canelo ish when he deserves ish, but his career, he's done a lot of great things. Canelo got like 50, 60 fights. He got a better resume than Bud. Bro, listen how pathetic it sounds. Listen, just hear me out. Smash the like button and hear me out. That's two orders. Smash the like button and hear me out. That's all I want. Smash the like button and hear me out. Okay. The Bud Buddies are so perturbed by Boxing Ego talking about Bud versus Boots. They start saying stupid stuff without realizing I'm consistent. Boxing is competition. It's a sport. So, for example, Canelo got a better resume than Bud. True or false? We'll start there. Canelo has a better career and resume than Bud Crawford. Is that true or is that false? Canelo has a better resume than Bud Crawford. True or false? Okay. Everybody has a brain and they're saying that's true. Because that's the truth. Now, I understand some people get mad like, oh no, but Bud's a better technician and all this type of stuff. I'm asking a simple question about a resume. Canelo's is better. Canelo has like 64 fights. He's been fighting since 15. His resume is better, right? I'm not talking about skill and style. His resume is better. Don't overcomplicate my simple. That being said, your man Ego still wants to see Canelo Benavidez, which is arguably the hardest fight for him at 68, that or David Morrell. I'm still pushing for that fight. The Bud Buddies, they're pushing for Canelo to fight Benavidez, and the man has a better resume, made more money than Bud, and he has 65 fights. And me being the best ever, me being the best in the business, I'm pushing for Canelo to fight Benavidez, despite the fact that he's fought 60 times and he has a great pedigree. The Bud Buddies, they're pushing for Canelo to fight Benavidez, but then they're not pushing for a realistic fight between Bud and Boots. You see what I'm saying? These dudes say, oh, it's about the best versus the best. You got to fight the best available, right? Canelo ruled out a Bud fight. What are you going to do? You're going to street fight him for no money? You're going to keep calling him out and he going to ignore you and be on jet skis and yachts and Bugattis and stuff? Like, what? Like, that's a silly game plan. That's a silly game plan. Keyshawn Davis literally told Bud to keep calling out Canelo. What's that going to do? Okay, keep calling him out. Then what? You're 36, 37. You don't have the same stats. You don't have the same numbers. You're not going to be able to force Canelo's hand. Benavidez has a better chance of forcing Canelo's hand because the public is actually demanding that. The public is not demanding Canelo versus Bud. There might be a few people that are, but I'm talking, when I'm saying public, I'm talking Mexican legends. Mexican legends like my boy Juan Manuel Marquez. He's calling for Canelo and Benavidez. Marquez ain't said about Nacho Beristain, and Marquez ain't said about Canelo fighting against Boots. I mean, Canelo fighting against Bud. Ain't nobody said that. Hey, block I Bleed Boxing. I don't care how many times you come back, you getting blocked. If I know it's you, you getting blocked. Block him and get him out of here. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you beat. I don't care who you lost to. Block him. I will not speak. Thank you. Shout out to Kenya. Bro, the funny thing about when I block people or when my shooters block them, I was thinking about this. It's so funny. It's so funny when I block people. Peep this. This man came back under 3 or 4 accounts in this one stream, right? Just to get smoked. You're doing all this typing, all these messages, logging into different accounts, different passwords, just to get smoked, and nobody reads it, and nobody even looks back. What a waste of time. I like it. I think that's funny. I think that's incredibly funny that you type in all these characters just to get smoked, and then it disappears. You can't even see it in the replay. You won't even be able to see on the live chat what these people that got blocked even had to say. So I love making people waste their time when they're idiots in my comment section. It's so fun. You typed all that for nothing. You typed all of this hatred under multiple accounts just to get blocked. So funny. Shout out to the dude Ryan Hafey. Make sure y'all check him out. He's a photographer, a content creator himself. Hey, his photos are raw. Y'all got to check him out. He's a PBC he works with PBC. So fun. I love my job. Shout out to Toddy. He said the thirst is real. Get him a Sprite. Yeah, obey your thirst like Sprite. Listen, people say they want the best versus the best, but they really don't. They pick and choose when it's applicable. And that's the real issue I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like, Hafey, you the man. Shout out to Ryan Hafey. Yeah, people just pick and choose. It's that simple. But as far as like, I don't understand how you guys listen to creators who aren't even consistent. Like, I think that's important as a man to be congruent with what you say. Like, if you say, like, I want to see Canelo versus David Benavidez, but at the same time, I want to see other great fights that make sense. And I think since Crawford, if Errol and Crawford aren't next, which we were under the impression that it could be or would be, if it's not next, then why not fight Boots? Who is this? I recorded what? Shalik Pool. I recorded what you said, haters using it, my videos. What, you the police? shout out to Surah. Block him. Bro. Oh my God. What is that supposed to do? Bro, he said I recorded what you said. Okay. You an informant? Bro, you guys are sending informants to the chat. He was like, yeah, I recorded. I got you on tape. Like, okay, I'm on. What is that supposed to do? Bro, y'all are really sending informants to the chat. You're like, can you say it again? Like, they're wearing wire. Look, they got the wires. Yeah, Boxing Ego. Could you say that one more time? What did you say? Like, bro, I'm recording this live stream too. If I was afraid to put it out, I wouldn't put it out. The man said I recorded you. Okay. He said the CIA. Like, okay. Some of these boxing fans need a life, bro. You need some friends. Yeah. Ego said it. Bro, he wearing a wire underneath the shirt. Y'all done sent informants. That's insane. He said I recorded you. Bro, they got secret recordings of your boy Ego. You block everyone with an opinion. You a true cancer. And I bleed boxing, meaning I use what you say in my video. I don't know who you are, bro. Block Hey Charlie. Get him out of here. I don't know you. He like, I use you in my video. You shouldn't be using me. I didn't authorize that. Bro, this man came back 18 times. I don't know who you are. Oh my gosh. This is who y'all send on the chat. He said, I bleed boxing. Like we're supposed to know who that is. Do y'all know who that is? He said it like he Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, like I'm supposed to know who that is. I bleed boxing. Man, sit your ass down. This is incredible. This is I love my job. I'll just say that. Kenya B said it's target practice. Yeah, we the new Matumbos or whatever. He said, I bleed boxing. You're going to keep bleeding every time you come back in the chat. How about that? How about that? Catch you outside. How about that? They sending agents. I told you, they in the Matrix sending agents. All this. So listen how crazy it is. All this so Boots doesn't get a Crawford fight. Oh, this man desperate, bro. This is I bleed boxing. You are blocking the new king. Bow down, peasant. You are a hey, I give you credit for persistent. Block him. That's about it. Bro, you doing all this for nothing. I love it. The man, he needs some clout. That's why he keeps saying his name. I bleed boxing. Bro, I can say your name. Nobody, they laughing at you. Ain't nobody gonna check you out. I ain't worried about that. You better put this amount of energy that you're putting into trolling. You need to put that into something productive, bro. I told you I got to be the best. I got the most stands. I ain't even been doing live streams like that. And they like, dear Ego, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my page of home phone at the bottom. I sent you 2 letters in autumn. You must not have got them. Ego got chat. I don't got the most stands in all of boxing. All that work just to shout out to B-Dog. Shout out to B-Dog. All this, like, bro, just think about how potent my point, the points that I'm making is when he said it's chat terrorist. I never heard of that. That's so funny. Listen, think about how much my points are hurting these dudes. If you coming back, you're doing all this just to not see Crawford versus Boots. That's pretty persistent. You're doing all this just so I can stop talking about Bud versus Boots. That's sad. That's really sad. And here's the other thing about the Boots and Bud situation. These can't be real boxing fans. These idiots, Bud fought one time last year. This summer, if he hasn't fought in the next, it's already March. It's pretty much because he's not fighting in February. And you got Tank Davis, who's going to be coming back. You got Ryan Garcia, and he's fighting Devin April 420 or whatever. So there's certain dates that he can't even really fight on between now. If he waits till July, that'll be 1 year out the ring, right? These buffoons would rather see Bud on the sidelines with no fight rather than see him fight Boots? That is crazy. Listen to what I'm saying to you, people. They would truly rather see Bud get no fights and just be on the sideline, I guess, waiting for Canelo or waiting for Tim Tszyu or whoever he thinks he can get. Block Berlanga. That to me, that's crazy. Why would you want to see a 36-year-old Bud Crawford on the sidelines? All the talent, all the skill. Why would you want to see him not active? And see, I'm telling you, I know exactly how boxing fans, what they do. What boxing fans do, they're going to keep condemning Boots Ennis, saying he ain't fought nobody, saying, why are you fighting Cody Crowley? Why are you fighting Mario Barrios? But then they're also preventing, or they're hoping to prevent and not put no like pressure to even make the fight with a Crawford. You see what I'm saying? This is how, listen, life works exactly the same way. People will continue trying to oppress you and suppress you like they're doing with Boots and keep saying, oh, he's not ready. Crawford would beat him up, but then not pushing for the fight so we can actually see an outcome. But then they'll keep acting mad every time Boots has to fight Sergey Lipinets, every time Boots has to fight against Thomas Delorme, when he has to fight against Cody Crowley, when he has to fight against Mario Barrios. But they're ostracizing him and not pushing for an available great fight for Undisputed with Crawford, but then they're complaining that Boots needs to step it up. Do you see what I'm saying? How can Boots step up his resume if he can't get none of the big fights? This is mind-blowing stuff. And again, you would rather see Crawford on the sidelines? You'd rather see him inactive? Like, so Crawford, he's just going to wait and stay in the gym and then wait, and then hope he can get Tim Tszyu, Keith Thurman winner? Hope Canelo changes his mind? That's not a good, like, that's, to me, it's not a good. And see, here's the other thing about Crawford. Crawford fought one time a year for the last several years. Kell Brook, the year he fought Kell Brook, that was his only fight for the year, and it was at the end of the year. It was like October, November, December. The year he fought Sean Porter, that was his only fight for that year, and it was at the end of the year. It was in November. When the year he fought David Avocado, it was in December 2022. So literally, Kell Brook, I think, was like October through December 2020. Sean Porter was November 2021. And then David Avocado was December 2022. Then Errol Spence in July was his only fight for 2023. So literally for 4 years, Crawford has fought one time a year. Crawford has fought 4 times. I have him number 1 pound for pound based on his last effort with Errol Spence, but it's not going to stick if other people, like if David Benavidez fought Canelo and beat him, you know, and different movement happens in boxing, it's going to be hard to keep Crawford there because other people are like risking it and fighting a lot more frequently. Crawford has fought 4 times in 4 years, once a year. And then you have the Bud Buddies that are actually saying that he shouldn't fight Boots. Do you see what I'm saying? They're saying like, nah. And then what kills me is the PBC haters, the anti-PBC crowd. They're the inactivity experts. They spend all day on YouTube and X writing tweets about how all the PBC fighters are inactive, right? They're like, oh, you know, Jamal Charlo only fought 1 time in 900 days and all this type of stuff. They're counting out, but then now they're advocating for Crawford to keep fighting 1 time a year instead of, What, like, if Boots is easy work, fight Boots this summer, and then have like a later fight if you beat him, and then try to get like Tim Tszyu Thurman winner. What's wrong with that? Why? Like, I don't understand that, especially for a guy who's been fighting one time a year for the last 4 or 5 years. Like, what? I don't understand how what I'm saying is a foreign language to some of y'all. But anyway, that's my time. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be back with some more boxing. So stay tuned.